I want to bring this back to Canada in two ways. First, all of us are seeing, significant sell-offs in the stock market. We don't know what's happening today, but it looked like an initial rally has been blunted by obviously Trump coming out with these new significant tariffs against China. We're seeing the bond market sell off. That means that interest rates are going up because bond investors are interpreting that this is going to be inflationary.
It is.
And when you have a long duration bond, you want to be compensated for inflation eating away at the value of that money over time. So we're starting, Janice, to get the feeling here. You were here in the 1970s. I was, born in the early 1970s, of stagflation, of a feeling as if economic growth is slowing in Canada. We just had a fairly less than good jobs report. And now we're seeing this tariff war explode with at least early signs in the bond market, in the energy markets, oil cratering, all suggesting, that there's a larger economic downturn coming at the same time that prices could be rising again. Does that have a stagflationary feel to you?
There's no question about it. There's no question about it. And you're right. I bought my first house when mortgage rates were 18%, Rudyard. Right. 18%. Right? So I actually think that's a real live possibility. There's nothing worse. By the way, that period of stagflation hurt the middle class in terrible ways. It is always the middle class that pays the price, and actually gave rise, interestingly enough, to Maggie Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, because the sense was something's deeply wrong. What an inversion of history that it is the populist right now that is bringing this upon us. And the reaction will now come from another part of the political spectrum, that's for sure.
Now, do you think that for Canada, though, we were left out of that Rose Garden speech to a certain extent? Now, we have 25% tariffs against aluminum, steel, 12.5% likely against most Canadian automobiles.
That are not compliant with USMCA.
Exactly. But we have, nonetheless, seen now America possibly bite off more than it can chew with China. So does that put us maybe in a stronger position, Janice, regarding what looks like to be an intention on the part of our leading candidates in our federal election here and signs out of the U.S. administration that they want to accelerate the renegotiation of NAFTA? They want it to happen this year, probably starting soon after the Canadian election. Does all of this chaos, as painful as it is to people's stock portfolios and potentially to our borrowing costs going forward, does this give Canada now a little more weight, a little more leverage in our conversations with the Americans?
Yeah, I think it does. I think when you have this kind of tornado in the relationship between the United States and China with an unpredictable duration and an unpredictable outcome, all of a sudden, Mexico and Canada look like small potatoes, and you actually want to secure North America. It is interesting, Roger, because I get asked all the time by Canadian business leaders, well, why would we do this? Why would we renegotiate a trade agreement? He tore up the first one.
Right. These tariffs against steel and aluminum autos are illegal under that agreement.
They are. But they helped. That agreement nevertheless helped us because Canada and Mexico got away, frankly, virtually with the lightest of tariff because he exempted under the agreement that he signed. In other words, this is the only known instance thus far, let's just underline this, where Trump followed a law that he had passed.